Hey, it's Chris Marr from the Content Marketing Academy here, and I've got another question for you today. It's all about how to find your content in Google. Linda asked a question recently, reference a video that I did recently all about headline writing and structuring blog articles. And what Linda said is, when you're typing possible headlines into Google, should you go for the title that shows fewer results, i.e. less competitive keyword search but still in the millions, or one with the most results because more people are searching for that? So basically what she's saying is that when she's doing some research just to find out like which titles are working in Google and what people would typically be searching for, what's the best titles to go for? And it's a really good question, and there's a lot of different answers that could be given from this. So let's just let's start from the top, right? So for example, if I was doing this exercise and I typed my title that I was thinking about using into Google to see what else would appear for that, and it seemed like it was quite competitive, right? So there was other articles of the same nature from different companies or different sources. Now I can look at those and do a couple of different things. One, I could say, well, it's been overserved, there's enough content there, I don't need to write that. Or I could dig a bit deeper, and what I might find is there might be lots and lots of articles there, but they're really bad, they're rubbish. We've done this before as well, where we've looked at them and thought we could actually write a better article, a much more helpful article, a much more useful article, or a much more resourceful piece of content. And what we've done is we've tried to write the better piece of content with the intention that over time our piece will be found above the rest that are in Google. So one thing is seeing what competition is there. Obviously you're kind of savvy in thinking that perhaps maybe if there's a lot of content there, then it's meeting demand, as in people are searching for this and people want to know about this. So there's more gaps to be found in that space. So the alternative is if you type your title or a version of your title that you're looking to rank for into Google, and a really, really great piece of content comes up and it's a very, very well resourced area, then maybe you shouldn't write that piece of content, okay? Because if there's a best of breed type content there, like a piece of content that's totally unscalable, that someone has produced that would be like the ultimate resource, and it's number one, it's coming up in search in Google for a lot of different keywords in that space, then maybe you don't want to write that piece of content or do that to that level. However, there's the argument that perhaps some of the content that you're creating has to come from you, even though it's coming from other sources. It depends how you're using your content. If you're using your content as part of your sales process, so you're answering like top level questions or really specific questions about the product or service that you provide, then and it has been served other places and you can get that resource online. But if you're using it in your emails or you're using it as part of your content to nurture leads or even to get leads, then perhaps you have to write it anyway, right? So there's an argument that even though it's been served, or even though there's content there that does the same purpose or serves the same purpose, that maybe you need to write it anyway. So there's that's another reason. So best of breed, so you might look at the stuff and go, actually the content here is pretty rubbish, I'm going to write the best of breed piece. Or you might find that there's a best of breed piece written already and there's no point in you doing your one, but actually there might be a case for writing anyway because you want to serve your audience with that content. So I guess what I'm saying there is that it's not just search that you should be concerned about with your articles, although it's very important. The second thing, or the third aspect of this whole thing, is that if you're looking to niche, so you've got two areas that you could niche down and you could get very specific about the content you're writing. Instead of writing at a general level, get very specific and look at the gaps in the marketplace there that's underserved content. So if it was like graphic design or branding that you're looking at, instead of writing articles in general about branding, go into specific elements of branding that are typically underserved and get really specific, go really deep. So you could niche by going deep. The other thing you could do is niche by geography. So the company that you're writing articles for could be for in one county or one town or one area, and that's where you're getting most of your business from. So instead of trying to compete on a sort of global level, you could actually just be competing for audience in a locality. So you could sort of niche down and own a geographical area. And that's another aspect of it as well. So you can serve a specific audience in a specific geography. So there's a lot of things from it. So the question being, which article headline should you go for if you're finding that one headline or one keyword phrase is bringing up little results and one is bringing up a lot of results already? it's actually not as straightforward as just that. I think there's reasons for writing content even if there is a lot of competition, and I think there's reasons for writing content if there's no competition, and I also think there's reasons for not writing that piece of content if there's no competition either. It might be that that's just not something that people are looking for, or it might be that your search term is incorrect as well. Either way, it's worth doing that little bit of research when you're using your titles, to write down your titles. Maybe a dozen titles, try and see which one's best, and try and hit the best you can with what you've got, knowing what you know at the time. I don't know if that helps. I hope that helps. I hope that helps you, Linda. It's a great question. It's just worth finding the gaps. I think there's a higher level sort of problem there, or challenge, and that is just identifying key gaps where you can serve an audience, or you can create content that fits in to the marketplace, that where you could maybe stand out. And I think that's probably what you're asking. You know, if I'm going to write content, how do I know I'm writing content that's going to work? How do I know that it's going to be found? And it is about finding these gaps, so niching down into specific areas, or being a specialist, or thinking geography, or thinking about what areas are underserved at the moment, and where best of breed content doesn't exist. And that's places where you could potentially excel, differentiate, make a big difference really, and drive new traffic to your content, your website, and get new leads. I hope that helps you. Great question. Don't forget to be awesome.